Okay, I don't know what's going on in the world, but check this out. CNN challenged the Biden administration on its proposed Ministry of Truth. Now Fox News is challenging the soon-to-be Speaker of the House, Mike McCarthy, on his lies? Crazy stuff. Check it out. My name is Nathan Laurie. If you are new here, we talk about the law and the facts. If you're about that life, don't forget to like this video, share this video, and subscribe to the channel. All right, so I give Fox News and CNN a lot of flack for bias reporting, right? We've done many videos, like this recent video, where they showed that CNN and Fox News was extremely biased. Great video. Check it out if you have a second. But today, Fox News actually went after one of its own for lies. All right, so just a little background. McCarthy, during January 6th, had allegedly said that Trump should resign and a whole bunch of negative stuff toward Trump. New York Times reported on it, said, hey, he said all these things. McCarthy came out and said he did not say. The New York Times is lying and it's fake news, it's disinformation, right? Then the recording came out of him actually saying what the New York Times said he said. So he was kind of in hiding, trying not to respond to this. So he went to the southern border and he wanted to show Fox News that he was still in charge. Southern border, we need to close the border. But Fox News wasn't having it. They said, we got to talk about something else. So check this out.
I want to switch gears a little bit because you are looking to be speaker again if Republicans win. And to that point, you know it's out there. The New York Times has released audio of you where days after January 6th, you're on a call with House Republican leadership, and you're heard on that audio saying that you've, quote, had enough with President Trump and that you would tell him to his face it would be your belief that he should resign. Do you still stand by those comments?
Now, you got to give it to this guy. He's just hit him hard, right? Yo, you said this, they reported it, now they got to how do you respond? So we're already starting hot. Let's see what he says.
Look, I never told the president to resign. It was a conversation that we had about scenarios going forward. But that's not really what critical happened 15 months ago. What's happening is what's happening on this border right now. Our border is not secure. 160 different countries of people are coming across. We now have enough fentanyl in America to kill every American 7 times over, and it's actually doing it. It's the #1 cause of death to Americans between the ages of 18 and 45. This is real life things happening today, and this is what we need to be focused on.
Now, you got to admit, that was a great way to spin it like a top, right? Just talk about everything else, right? He didn't even mention the audio. He didn't mention any of that stuff, right? We're talking about fentanyl. We're talking about this. This is what we want to talk about. But watch, the interviewer for Fox News. This is Fox News, for God's sake. He's not going to let it happen. Check it out.
And regarding that audio tape, you had said the New York Times reporting on it was, quote, false and wrong. Then the tape came out. Did you lie?
Liz, you on the phone?
Yeah, I'm here. Thanks, Kevin. I guess there's a question. When we were talking about the 25th Amendment resolution,
Yeah.
and you asked if you know what happens if it gets there after he's gone. Is there any chance? Are you hearing that he might resign? Is there any reason to think that might happen?
I've had some few discussions. My gut tells me no. I'm seriously thinking of having that conversation with him tonight. I haven't talked to him in a couple days. From what I know of him, I mean, you guys all know him too. Do you think he'd ever back away? But what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to call him. This is what I think. No, it'll pass the House. I think there's a chance it'll pass the Senate even when he's gone. And I think there's a lot of different ramifications for that. Now, I haven't had a discussion with the Dems that if he did resign, would it not happen? Now, this is one personal fear I have. I do not want to get into any conversations about Pence parting, anything like that. I mean, the only discussion I would have with him is that I think this will pass, and it would be my recommendation we should resign. I mean, that would be my take, but I don't think he would take it, but I don't know.
You had said the New York Times reporting on it was, quote, false and wrong. Then the tape came out. did you lie?
No, because what was brought to me is said that I called the president to say that to resign. I never called the president to say resign. He and I have a very good relationship as we go through. But what really needs to happen here is we're watching what's happening in this country, a border that's not secure.
So you see, he's back at the border. The border, the border. Let's check out, we're still talking about the border. The border, so let's see what he's talking about. The border. The border.
Inflation continuing to rise every day, streets that are not safe, parents that are being attacked by the attorney general saying that somehow they're terrorists because they want to go to school board meetings. That all changes when Republicans take the majority.
Does the fact that this audio was leaked in the first place mean that there are some Republicans out there who have some knives out for you?
Now, I give Fox News a lot of crap, but this interviewer is stone cold professional, right? He's letting him answer fully, giving his propaganda spin, but keeping him to task on these questions, right? You lied when you said this what was happening. And he's continued, he will not let him get off of this line of questioning because it's something that he has to answer for. So no matter what you say about Fox News, like I usually give them a lot of crap because of their political stuff, but you gotta admit they are being extremely fair here and challenging their own side with the bullshit, right? With the madness. And they're saying, you can't say things like that we know are untrue and not be challenged. So let's give Fox News some credit. They are being fair and balanced to both sides, especially in this situation. But let's see the answer to this question.
I think it's probably a little more of the Democrat side as well. I mean, Elizabeth Warren, Adam Schiff, and Swalwell, you know, those people won't be on Intel anymore, and that's okay. You could judge me by my enemies. I think I'll be a good judgment.
Final question on this topic. Let's say Republicans win and you're speaker again, or you seek to be speaker again. Do you think this tape has any impact on that?
No, I don't think it has any impact at all. What really has impact is what we're doing today to make sure Title 42 does not get lifted. That you got a Biden administration that has opened up this border, that you're now having people on the terrorist watch list coming across into America. Why are they coming here? Who are they talking to? And what do they have planned?
So I made this video because I thought it was extremely interesting to see how both CNN in this other video and how Fox News have now started being a little bit more fair and balanced with their coverage, right? Obviously, McCarthy's lying. He asked Trump to leave. The tapes are extremely clear what he said. And he was lying when he said he didn't say it. There's no doubt about it. That's why Fox News, I think, feel comfortable enough to challenge him and say, hey, we heard the tapes. We heard what you said. We heard the tapes. And it's obviously you're lying. And here's a challenge. You can explain it, but we want the viewers to know this tape is out there of you lying, which I think is fair. And I think the Democrats did the same thing with CNN, with the Board of Truth or the Misinformation, Board of Governors of Misinformation, whatever they're calling it. It's the Ministry of Truth. But essentially, they did the same thing to the Democrats. It's like, this is BS. And we all know it's BS. So let me know how you feel about Fox News pushing back on some of the GOP talking points and nonsense. And let me know also how you feel about the CNN video, the CNN pushing back on the Democrats' BS and nonsense. And if you haven't already, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, do all that great YouTube stuff. My name is Nate the Lawyer, and I'm out of here. Peace.